Yes.
Room? Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we hear you. We're still. I was setting levels.
I know you're messing with your audio interface. I know.
Is that to your recorder? Do you have a recorder?
It's the penny whistle.
Penny whistle. Yeah.
I'm encoding right now, but I don't know how I'm encoding because I have
Jean-Luc Picard in that one episode.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah, but he had a little bit. He had one an A. His is a. Let's see, my G one is a little smaller. I don't know how clean it is though. Let's see. I don't know. It's too quiet though. It's too little. It's harder to blow because it's smaller. But he had a smaller one than this. Yeah, his is smaller.
I guess that was working.
What?
Cool.
I hear you fine.
The encoders. I didn't think I start the encoder yet, and then it turned out I had, and I couldn't override it, and so then I stopped it, and now I can't get it to start again properly because I think I fucked up the encoders.
How did you break the Brian?
Well,
Brian, what did you do? Brian, what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Hey,
you set off explosions, Brian. Is that what happened?
Let's remember. Let's remember, the encoders are all programmed by a guy whose name starts with R and ends in eco and is pronounced Rico. And it was programmed many, many, many years ago without any updates.
Well, so a messenger that pops up with it?
Isn't Rico like a lot against gangsters?
No, it's a fax machine. It's a company.
Oh, of course it is.
You know, at this point, we've talked so much about Rico, and Rico's not been like a presence that we've seen in so long that some people probably think that Rico is a myth that we've made up. That there is no guy named Rico. We just pretend there's a guy named Rico that runs the server, and in reality, we're doing it all.
Gators.
Yes.
All I know is Rico likes bananas.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the few pieces of evidence I have that there actually is a Rico, if I can find my Rico sound effects.
I thought you might have had it queued up.
I haven't needed a Rico sound effect in so long, I took those buttons off my board.
There are also Rico cameras.
There are... Well, let's try starting the encoders again and see if it works. Well, I am encoding. Whether or not it's actually getting to the streams, I don't know, because it's about a 50-50 chance of that. But we are encoding.
Let's see.
Good.
So, I think now...
In case there are any spies listening, they already knew that.
Yeah, the spies already knew. Well, the spies are just getting a feed right off my Behringer board because they built in a spy chip right into it before they sold it to me. But that's okay. Because once again, we're listening to another fun-filled edition of...
Insert title here.
The show that changes names so frequently, we put a placeholder in. And I almost hit the wrong button. But that's okay. That's our placeholder button. Eventually we'll replace that button with the actual show name. But we'll fix that in post. Anyways, we're here another week, another Monday. A week has passed.
Another week.
And as you recall where we left off last week.
Candy.
Candy.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Candy?
Well, we bought a big bag of candy, and we got...
Did you eat it all?
No, because I'm still doing the thing with the thing. And although we had one trick-or-treater.
Did you give them half a bag of candy?
No. Actually, we had two trick-or-treaters if you count the DoorDash driver.
Ooh,
Did you give them a candy?
Kristen gave him candy.
Good.
And she put a note in the order. If you knock on the door, there's candy. And so
See, Gators, you found the niche. You always put that in there. If you knock on the door, you get candy. They'll always knock on your door.
Right.
You found it, Gators.
Yeah. Now remember, what we learned in Good Idea, Bad Idea all those years ago watching Animaniacs. It's a good idea to go... What's that?
With Randy Beeman?
No, you remember the Animaniacs with the skeleton dude and the Good Idea, Bad Idea?
No, that was the other guy. Yeah, no, okay.
Good idea, trick-or-treating on Halloween. Bad idea, trick-or-treating on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, good idea, having breakfast served to you in bed. Bad idea, having tennis balls served to you in bed.
Yeah.
That could be bad.
Yeah. Good idea, playing catch with your grandfather. Bad idea, playing
Playing
catch
with
your grandfather.
Yeah.
As in
Yikes.
using him as the ball.
That's not like the boy that will come out and tell the story about Randy.
Oh,
Newman. He was cool,
using
too.
See, playing catch with your grandfather,
Yeah.
as the ball.
Okay, I'm watching the all-important ad.
Ah,
Oh.
is it for candy?
TikTok. TikTok?
TikTok. It's for
Tic Tacs?
TikTok?
No,
Tic Tacs?
what?
Tic Tac?
Tic Tacs?
You got a TikTok.
There's two ladies with toothbrushes. There's a guy in a warehouse.
Oh.
There's a lady. Oh, that looks like Martha Stewart punching a hole in the wall.
Well, that probably is.
It is TikTok.
Maybe
I'll
she
be
went
damned.
aggro.
I
Maybe she
did
went
not
aggro
know-
after like thing.
What?
Maybe Martha Stewart went aggro. I don't know.
All right. In that case, what I got from that is that brought to you by two ladies with toothbrushes and Martha Stewart. TikTok?
Yes.
And the guy in the warehouse, man. Let's not. Yeah.
I only had so many characters, Brian.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is a series of tubes, not a dump truck.
Yes.
We gotta limit our characters on the crawl bar there. Even though there's a nice large green gap there that would totally fit a warehouse.
So hey, Mars, guess what's tomorrow? Speaking of dump truck.
All Souls Day?
Wait. Trash day.
Oh, it happens to be trash day for me.
Yeah. Same here.
But I wasn't thinking of that.
See?
But the clue was dump truck. Gerhardt dump truck. Gerhardt is a contractor, and he has a dump truck.
Is Jim Gerhardt coming out of retirement to do
wait.
radio again?
Wait.
No, I
Are
think
they
it's a
are they
different
going to are they going to put a moat around your party house?
No.
Oh.
Let me give you a clue. Gerhardt is a contractor in Canada.
So you're having Canadian geese delivered to the party house?
No, they just fly in. They just fly through.
Maybe he's getting genuine Regina water sent to him.
Or
From
maybe
Regina.
he's getting a dump
Hey,
truck
that's a
of
cool
ginger
idea.
ale.
Actually, it's supposed to be a dump truck of silver.
You're getting the jump truck of silver?
Not
Wow.
me. Not me. I'm going to see if that's what they come up with.
A
The
dump-
the season ender last year was they detected silver in the water at Oak Island. So
There's no silver.
hey,
There
they
is,
detected it in the water, and they say it's going to be a lot of silver.
and
They
so
won't
they're
detect gold because gold is not water soluble.
and they're gonna open the new season with, "Hey, we found the dump truck worth of silver. Thank you for watching. Shortest season ever." Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's how they're opening the season.
No, of course, they're going to stretch it out until later, But they're gonna. Oh wow! I'm sure. First thing tomorrow. Oh wow! Probably we play the deal.
What?
We've detected silver, and we
That-
think it's a dump truck of silver, not
That-
just a little bit.
Now, Oi the Drama is looking for the ladies with the toothbrushes. But you have to get the right ad when you join.
Yeah.
Brian got an ad.
Yeah.
He described it to me, and I put it in the ticker just to help our promoters. Who
Right.
we think it was a TikTok ad, but we're not sure. But there were two ladies with toothbrushes, Martha Stewart, and apparently a guy in a warehouse, which just got lost to my laziness of not wanting to type that out. By the way,
How's the
That
emoji
didn't
you
get
put up
quite
there?
add up. For sure.
I would like to point out I am wearing my Redemption No Longer a Woot Asshole T-shirt right now. So
What?
yay! Well, remember the T-shirt story with Woot? How
Yeah.
I bullied Woot into sending me a free shirt, and I love that shirt, and I wore out that shirt, so I bought a new shirt. Legit bought, paid them cash, bought credit
Yeah.
card.
It's like your old white shirt, but
So now no longer a Woot asshole. I've redeemed myself by buying the shirt instead of bullying them for a shirt. Although I wasn't trying to bully them for a free shirt, I was only trying to bully them into being able to buy the shirt, which now you can buy any of their shirts, just about. The one thing I can't buy is the April Fool's Day mystery shirt.
well, I don't think I can buy that.
No, I can't
You
buy.
have to wait for a couple months for that.
Well, because one year for April Fool, every now and then Woot clears out leftover shirts by selling a mystery shirt, and they show the image of a white shirt with a blurry yellow question mark on it to represent that it's a mystery. You could get any random, it's a random shirt. Who knows what you get? And usually, I would order the mystery shirts and hope for something good.
Yep.
And then on April Fool's Day, they had the mystery shirt came up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a few random. I'll buy a random shirt, and I bought the random shirt. And I didn't read the fine print, because usually a fine print says, no, we're not sending you a white shirt with a blurry question mark on it. We're sending you a mystery shirt. Could be anything. But on April Fool's Day that year, it said, yes, we are actually going to send you a white shirt with a blurry question mark on it.
You got one?
And yes, I did. And
Good.
yes, I love that shirt. And I wore that shirt out. And I looked on Woot to see if I could buy a replacement mystery shirt. No, I cannot. They do not print the blurry yellow question mark shirt for special order. They do not.
Now,
But,
these specials, are they a lot cheaper than normal?
the mystery shirts usually are cheaper. They usually are marked down, clearing out extra stuff.
So
Yeah.
instead of being $30, it's $10.
Something like that, or $12. I forget. It's been a while. I don't do them anymore because I've got too many shirts that I didn't really like. So I stopped buying them.
Well, it's a random thing, right?
It's a random thing, and I did it a few times, and then I stopped. Oi writing in, I love women with fresh mouths. So yeah, he's looking for the toothbrush ladies.
All right.
And we
No, electric or manual?
Oh man.
It's funny. I use a manual. Kristen uses an electric.
I use
that's
electric.
But that's because her parents bought it for her. I used to have an electric, but I got tired of changing batteries. Now she's got one that charges.
Yeah.
And I put an outlet in the bathroom, and yet she still keeps the power cord in her bedroom, and when it needs to be charged, she'll bring the toothbrush upstairs and charge it in her room, and then bring it back downstairs when it's charged.
Well, you have plug now in your bathroom, right?
Yes. Now 5 Dude wants to know, what has he missed? He missed the two ladies with the toothbrushes, is what he. But then again, I didn't see them either. Only Brian saw them.
Gators, this
Yes?
brings me to some very sad news. I've lost someone this week. Gators,
What?
I've lost somebody this week.
You lost
Yes.
someone, a person.
Yeah, this is who I lost. Yesterday, I went to my bathroom, and my first Echo that Dune got me 7 years ago is gone. The power supply, the thing that goes in the wall, was burning to the touch. I couldn't even touch it. I actually used a towel to get it all out.
Wow.
And the bottom rubber part was melted and hot as crap. So
Did it?
I've lost my bathroom Echo, my first Echo that was.
You lost the bathroom Echo.
Gators, dude got me that, and he got me that in like 2014. That was the baby. Yeah.
Did you damage the counter or whatever?
I don't know. I can't see it, but I think it's fine.
So
It's so smooth, so it doesn't
so
matter.
there's no Echo in your bathroom now.
Well, there will be. I'm gonna probably order an Echo.
Right, but right now there's no Echo in your bathroom.
No.
So
No-
what?
no
You put
thumb
carpet
and
up on the
bumping
walls?
What?
I see what you're doing there, dude.
Boo! Now I was messing with the features of Windows 11 and mic quality. Did you know I could set this microphone to dictation quality, Gators?
Now 5 Dune running in. No.
I know. I know.
I know
That
it.
was
Dune
awesome.
Dune is lamenting the dead Echo, much like someone calls a goal in a game of soccer.
You know what? I was.
No.
I went to
there's
the bathroom.
multiple no's, not just
I was
no.
really sad. I was really sad. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what?
That sucks, man.
That was my introduction to Alexa, and
Well, you don't want it to
yeah,
be.
shh, not you. It still heard me.
Nobody asked you.
So, but
Now-
yeah, that was my baby. I
Now-
love that thing so much. You know how many hours of music and stuff I've got out of that thing?
Dune writing in, I need his address stat. Well, I can tell you it's not changed.
Dude,
So
don't worry about it. I
just,
have a.
just look up your order history. Amazon keeps that.
I have a dot four on the way. Plus, I have a studio in this room, and I have another echo in
Computer.
the bedroom, and I have an echo in the hook
Sir
to my soundbar.
Mars.
So,
The real dilemma here, though.
Dead.
The real dilemma, 5 at Dune writes in, and I'm going to go ahead and say what he meant to say because he blanked out the last word. 5 at Dune writes in, Johnny, how is Mars going to get his 3-headed throbbing dildo? No, it's the 4-headed throbbing dildo that I kept on putting on his shopping list, not 3-headed. What are you going to do with a 3-headed dildo? You got to have it in quad. Got to have it.
Oh,
you gotta have it in quad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was an old joke. Actually, I borrowed that from a mock Pokemon commercial. Is where I don't know if I have the original file anymore. It was one of my MP3 downloads from college. So somewhere buried in a bunch of folders, I have a restored folder from an old hard drive of old MP3s. And I probably moved that onto a different hard drive. It's probably in that folder, and it's probably in that folder, and it's probably... No, not Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. Don't be silly. It's
That game. That was like the last one I could really play.
all right. Let's search my MP3s for Pokemon and see if I can find. No, I can't. I don't know where I ended up stashing that folder away. Maybe I stashed it away somewhere in. No, not in the KTEL folder.
But it was in quad. It would make sense.
Yeah. Somewhere I should have a folder of old comedy stuff, and some of it might. Oh man, I was just thinking one of those files the other day, wondering, gee, do I still have that? Yeah. Well, another week, another time.
Yeah.
But and Oi doesn't know what I'm doing now. I'm looking for old files, is what I'm doing. And then Dune wrote in before that. Oh crap! I have denied Mars. Ooh, I almost said it.
You know what, dude? Don't worry. I still have my Echo Studio right here on my table, so I can still listen to the 5 hit at volume 11. It still thumps. Don't worry.
I often wonder. I often thought how 3 would be utilized. Now I have to start over again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, you just have to think about that and just add one more.
There you go. Anyways, so last week where we left off was Gators tried to decide what was a stronger factor in how his mind works, nostalgia or hatred of all things Mac, and it turned out nostalgia won. And here's the thing, I did my normal thing that I do every time I buy something. I buy it first, and then I research it and find out all the things that I should have known before I bought it.
That's where you find out you bought the wrong one.
And then I justify the purchase based on that, even though I don't know what I would have decided if I read that all before I purchased it. And the big mistake I made was I kept saying that I was looking for a Blueberry iMac because one of the iMacs we had in the DAW lab, one of the first iMacs we had in the DAW lab were the first model that came in the blue color, which when I was looking up the colors, I saw they were named after fruits, like green was lime, orange was tangerine, the pink was strawberry, the blue was blueberry. And I searched for blueberry iMac, and I found that blueberry iMac for, what was it, $120 including the shipping altogether. And I bought it. And then I started reading up on the Wikipedia pages, and it turns out that no, the first iMacs weren't blueberry. The first iMacs were Bondi blue, which is kind of a more greenish blue than the blueberry blue. And the first model of iMacs, the first two revisions, A and B, only came in Bondi blue. And then it was on the third revision that they introduced the colors, which came in blueberry, grape, tangerine, lime, and strawberry. Blueberry being similar to Bondi blue, but not the same as Bondi blue. And so if I really want to get one of the original iMacs like the ones I worked on in the lab, I would need to get the Bondi blue. Well, it turns out not only did I make that mistake, the person who listed the auction also made that mistake, because I took a look at that picture and took a look at the specs, and yeah, that blueberry that listing for a blueberry iMac is actually a Bondi blue iMac. I'm pretty sure. Although could be that the color's off. It seems to look like it's matching up. I don't know if it's a revision A or B.
Did you receive this thing?
Well, according to UPS, the estimated delivery date is today by 7 p.m. and it is right now 8:23 p.m. and they have yet to. No, it's not here.
Look on your porch. Quick, look on your porch.
Nope, they have updated the estimated delivery date to Tuesday, November 2nd by 7 p.m.
Gators?
Now, when I view the details, it hasn't been scanned since it left California.
Well, you'll get it just in time to watch Oak Island.
Gators, what you should have done is, as you knock on the door, I'll give you candy.
I should have done that. That was my mistake. I did not put a notice into the UPS driver letting him know.
He saw no tag there, so he just walked off.
If you knock on my door,
We'll
there's
do it
candy.
tomorrow.
But I did take a little refresher on the different iMacs and the models. And remember, the big question last week was, what would I do with it? And the follow-up question that was asked of me is, well, what did you do with them in the DAW lab? And I started listing the things that we did on the Mac Towers, not on the iMacs. And because I talked about doing MIDI.
Okay, so you're going to get a Mac Tower then?
Well, no, I don't need to do that. But, the things I would do is audio production type stuff in the DAW lab, like MIDI stuff with Cubase, audio recording stuff
Quad?
with Pro Tools. No, the quad I did on the PC that was in the back room with SoundForge on it. But anyways, so that had me thinking, what the hell? They put like 4 or 5 iMacs in that room, and the iMacs don't have expansion cards to put the interfaces in to do Pro Tools or Cubase or MIDI stuff. So what the hell did we do on those iMacs? And I can only come up with one thing we ever did on
string.
No, even more useless than that. Even more useless than Cup of String is the one and only purpose that those iMacs really served in that lab.
Sheet music?
Web designing Flash-based websites.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Now, is that completely useless?
Wow. Can you still find any of those?
Yes, but they don't work.
Exactly.
How about PageMill or PageMaker?
They killed Flash so dead that the train stopped running in China. That is how much they killed Flash.
Hey, the train and Fortnite are stopping. Who knew?
Now, Oi writing in, can you imagine how much better Gator's life would be if he used a Mac? Mac sucks, LOL. His tweet would be reduced to 3 a year without all the rants about Windows. My tweets would be reduced about 3 a year because that's about how many tweets I can figure out how to send with a Mac. But yeah, that is the main thing that I ever now I think the iMacs were equipped with some kind of wave editing tool on it that you could import an already mixed file to kind of trim the edges and do some finish work on it. But there were no MIDI interfaces on them. There were no audio interfaces on them. Those iMacs were strictly for anything that was already recorded and produced, pretty much. And really, we had this class. The class is called New Media something or other, new media design, new media something, I don't know, and I didn't know what the hell the class was going to be based on the name, and I'm like, what the hell is this class? And it was like just another excuse to waste another miserable 3 hours a week with Snyder. Is what they may as well have called the class, because that's really all it was. And speaking of Snyder, we have a large cock in the room. Hello. Frozen. Oh, we got a frozen cock in the room. Is
frozen.
I think we got to wiggle the wires and Oi lulled. I don't know what Oi lulled at. I said so many not funny things there, but speaking of Snyder, we have a large cock in the room.
Okay, here he's back again. Hi.
Hello, and we'll see if my story checks out with his recollection. So we're not going to fill Gothard in the details. Hello, Gothard.
Hello.
Well, he moved, and he's fiddling the wires some more. Yeah, I hear a little hiss, but and he's back.
He's back.
Yes, we heard a sound.
Hey, Gothard.
Yes, you heard a sound. Hey.
Yes. So, pop quiz. What are the only things you can think of off the top of your head that we use the iMacs in the DAW lab for?
Boat anchors.
Okay.
That'd be the third thing.
That would be the anything. No, but seriously, what did we do on them? I mean, because they didn't have interfaces, they didn't have MIDI, they didn't have Pro Tools. So there's only one thing I can think of that MIDI. We ever. They did?
Yes,
did we get USB MIDI devices?
I think we did.
Because I thought we used primarily the towers for the MIDI. Oh, go ahead.
I could have sworn we did the iMac for some MIDI stuff.
It could be. I could be misremembering. I'd have to look up, because I actually looked up.
MIDI is the universal connection between devices.
Right, but
yeah, it must have been a because I remember there was a couple keyboards that were hooked up to more than just one.
Yeah, although we did have some. Yeah, but what other thing can you recall that we did on those iMacs?
Oh, Pro Tools.
I don't know if they made USB audio interfaces for Pro Tools at that time.
Well, we were using, I believe, Pro Tools to do that.
Right, the towers had Pro Tools interfaces, and they had the little DA38s hooked up for 8-track digital recording, and so we could, do a little post-production there. Now, the only thing I remembered ever doing on the iMacs in the room was Flash web design, which is like the most useless thing ever that we learned.
But that was a media class. And
I could have sworn remember doing those horrible projects on those, like the Pro Tools project and the MIDI project, and
we very well could have. I know there was still at least 3 towers in that room, and I usually ended up sitting at one of those for MIDI. Maybe I just. Well, the problem with the iMacs were they had this great feature, because as the advertisement I shared on Twitter this past week points out, it's very easy to turn off a Mac. You just do your work,
stare at it,
and poof, it's gone. and I think that line in that advertisement was based on the first model iMac, because the first model iMac had a tricky power button on it that could get stuck easily.
It had a weak power button. Let's just put it that way.
And it could get stuck halfway. And I mean, you could be working for a half hour, not touching the button, and all of a sudden an electron made the jump. And
You
yeah.
you always hovered over the highway interchange button and the S button constantly.
Yeah. And the command button, the clover, that stupid button that has that, the highway interchange. I like that. That's great. And then the teacher would blame us for using the wrong power button because we really should be using the power button on the keyboard and not touching that problematic power button, which I'm like, well, why don't you just rip it out then?
Epoxy it.
What I discovered is after a while, the ones on the Macs themselves started sticking. The ones that were on the screen that you could use too started sticking as well.
Hey,
Right.
You gotta wash your hands more. Dang.
Well, Dune writing in, so bottom line, Johnny did not do shit in school. Now, that's not true. That's not true.
God.
He
did some shit.
I just did it on the towers. The only thing I did on an iMac was a Flash web design site for that Sibelius website because Marcia threw us under the bus. Because she had some kind of a falling out with Walter Labonte. But and decided we're not going to give him a website, so you have to do I've told this story already, though. So, nostalgia got to me, and I actually bought an original Bondi Blue iMac off of eBay last week during the show for $70 plus $50 shipping.
Yeah.
And it's scheduled to arrive tomorrow via UPS, although it was scheduled to arrive today via UPS. So
What are you getting?
I bought one of the Bondi Blue iMacs, like the original greenish blue models that were the first ones that came into the lab.
Come again?
Nostalgia. Even though I hate them, it's a significant.
Last week's show, because that's what our reaction was.
It's a significant part of my computer history. Even if it's not the most pleasant, it's still a significant part of my computer
and
use
of course
history.
You were saying that it was a waste of time.
It is. It's a total waste of time, but so are all of my hobby computers. What is life
that's right,
but finding ways to waste time? I mean, what do you think this show is?
And money.
What?
When did we get this psychedelic background?
I added that last week. A few months ago, I figured out that you can add backgrounds, and then last week I finally cropped Venison's poster to a background.
Do I have to turn off the lights to make sure?
Dune's pointing out, wait, you just said they did not have MIDI or Pro Tools. G-Man said they had both. Help me understand why I'm wrong. No, I just, you know what? One of our memories is off a bit, and it's probably mine. Although I think they didn't do Pro Tools. I think only the towers did Pro Tools. I could be wrong on that, though. But Gothard's probably right about having MIDI interfaces on more of them, because I do, now that I think about it.
Because we did use Cakewalk as the MIDI program.
And Cubase.
Oh, that's right. It was Cubase, wasn't it?
And then there was that other one that was some weirdo thing that you drew a smiley face on for part of your composition. Like you had the MIDI chart and you just drew a smiley face.
It was either Cakewalk or Cubase. It was one of those two. It was fun.
Right. Well, maybe I know we did our first MIDI project on a different, more basic program. And
so that
then
was probably the Cakewalk.
That was probably Cakewalk. So if I get Cakewalk in the MIDI interface, and you find your old zip disk,
I think we had Cubase as. I was thinking we had Pro Tools, but we had Cubase, which did both.
Right, you could import audio into that. Although although your final project was done in Pro Tools, and one of the and basically you got to the end and you realize, well, I didn't put anything MIDI in this, and the list of requirements requires MIDI, and so you brought up like a MIDI channel within Pro Tools and found out that MIDI in Pro Tools sucks.
Yes, it does. And I went
copy paste.
Play 4 chords, repeat.
But you did that in Studio B. I was with you when you did that one.
That's called a hip-hop trick. It's it's what the kids listen to these days is repetitive stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it worked. It
It's
totally
trip hop.
worked. Yeah, no, good times, good times. You see, we had good times in college with the bad computers, so you could see where the nostalgia side of me is like, well, you know what? And that was one of the more iconic computers that we had.
Did you get the hockey puck mouse to go with it? The
That's
most
what he was trying to
unergonomical
get.
mouse ever made.
Separately, right?
Yeah, the one I bought comes with one of the better mice, even though it's one of the models that wouldn't have come with it.
On your image, so we can actually see it.
Oh my
At
goodness.
this level, it's a postage stamp.
Yeah, there
You
it
know what I
is.
hated about those is it didn't fit
Everything?
under your palm, but it will fit underneath your palm, but then your fingers can't press the button. But if your fingers could press the button, it's not underneath your palm. So it was like, what is this evil thing? It looks cute, but it's annoying.
Yeah, these have gone down in history as like the worst, one of the worst, if not the worst mouse ever. And like I said, the one I bought on eBay came with the wrong type of mouse, and so I found this separate listing so that I could have the right mouse with it.
You know what hell has? Is like one of those mice, a dial-up modem, and like Windows 3.1. Not even 1.1.
No, then you'd have work groups.
No, wait,
you don't want
Windows
that.
Windows 3.1 is one of the best versions of Windows they ever made. I think
No,
Vista
3.11 for work
Vista.
groups, sir, was
Oh,
better.
right.
is what you're looking for.
That's right.
Either
No,
Vista
no,
or
ME.
Windows ME. One or the
Yes,
other.
that's what I'm looking for. Windows
yeah.
ME. My mistake.
I think Vista's worse.
I don't know,
Although
I mean,
Vista
Yours was
would
pretty bad.
although Vista would be more functional today than ME. Actually, you know what? Windows ME is incorrect. It was really meant to be called Windows Me. It's just that most people incorrectly call it Windows ME.
Well, it was Millennia Edition, so it's initials.
But it was meant to be pronounced. Like, you know,
Well, what does Microsoft know, right?
like Windows XP. Remember Windows XP?
XP. Yeah, right. Exactly. We're going to call it XP.
I guess I figured, well, if they're going to say the two letters, we may as well just pick another two letters. So
Why has none of them gone to 3 letters and just call it XTC?
yeah, but I do have to say, if we did get Pro Tools on the iMac, I have failed to find time period appropriate hardware that would do that. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means I didn't spend enough time researching, possibly. I'll just see, but you're right. There were definitely MIDI keyboards on that side of the room that only had iMacs. Because if you went to the left side, it was basically 2 or 3 iMacs. There were only 3 towers, and they were, the one on the right side, the one next to the door, and the one next to the other door, if I recall correctly. Which I might not. Damn nostalgia. But yeah, no, so that'll be a fun little project when that shows up. And we'll see what I can make it do. We'll have to play with it on the show, of course. Of course, I have no way to capture video to share it on the screen. You can only, any YouTube video I find about the iMac G3s always has footage of a camera pointing at the screen with flickering. Because there's no way to screen capture it. Oh, they're such horrible pieces of equipment, aren't they?
I didn't buy it.
Yep.
But yeah. So, the other cool thing, and I might have to try to find one, is they actually made plastic pieces that would clip onto them to make them extend down more to be more like the shape and size of a normal mouse. I don't know if you ever saw those. Is that great or what?
That would be amusing.
That is.
Yeah, I just discovered these headphones. There's a company that makes an adapter for them so they can be Bluetooth. That just
nice.
clips in one side. I was like, that's
Oh,
kind of
that's
cool.
a nice idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have to buy a whole new set of headphones. When the Bluetooth crap dies, I just unplug it.
So I am excited because I got my annual invite for Thanksgiving dinner, which didn't happen last year. So Yay!
Which house?
The lake house. My aunt and uncle are
good.
hosting at the lake, which they haven't done in a number of years. Because what was it? 5 years ago, I when I moved cross country, they hosted at the lake, and then like no one showed up. And then 4 years ago, they said no, we're tired of doing that. And it's like all those years they hosted at the lake house. I was out in California and missed it, and I get back. And it dries up. So I went to my dad and stepmom's house for Thanksgiving 4 years ago, and then 3 years ago, my aunt decided to host again, but host it in Matawan instead of at the lake. And so 3 years ago and 2 years ago, we went to my aunt and uncle's house in New Jersey instead of the lake house in Pennsylvania. And then last year, COVID hit, so they didn't host. And I think my dad.
You went to Subway.
No, we bought
DoorDash could bring and run in some Subway.
we bought a turkey breast. We made a little dinner here.
All right.
Actually, it's funny. Last year, Thanksgiving was day one of starting work on rewiring the house. That was I managed to get a run up in from the basement to the attic. That was.
I think Dune has a question for you.
Okay. No, he doesn't.
No, I think we have it on audio.
No. There's
Come
no.
on, man.
There
That
is
was
no
just
relevant
you.
question to this show being asked.
What was the question?
Got the turkey.
About that question. I thought you were talking about it. Well,
Wow.
Dune wrote it.
Dickheads.
Dune wrote in a question asking about finding stuff in holes that are filled with water, and I'm just not acknowledging that. But yes, you're absolutely right. The big question every year we ask around this time of the year.
You got the turkey?
There you go. There you go. Talk about Thanksgiving. You got to have the question.
You gotta, yeah. So I don't got the turkey, but my aunt and uncle got the turkey at the lake. Well, actually, my other aunt's gonna bring the turkey to the lake, and so all I gotta do is bring desserts. So yeah.
So apparently,
Pie.
I went to a Walmart several days ago before Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween costumes and there was just a little bit of costumes, almost no decorations. It was all gone, and they were racking up the shelves with Christmas decorations. And then, like a week before that, I was at Home Depot. There was not a single Halloween anything at the store. It was all Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're going for that last minute skeleton, you were fucked, man.
Nope.
I heard there was actually costume shortages this year, Brian. There was actually
there's everything shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah, the racks actually were pretty grim.
Yeah.
They probably didn't expect that more people were going to go out.
Oh yeah, I heard it was
costumes.
crazy this year. I mean, I had swarms of kids, but you know.
Well, we didn't
Zero
have any
kids.
because we made the house dark,
Oh.
so we
We
had
left
zero.
a light on. 0.
Oh, like Tom Bodette?
I left the light on for you. How many? You get any trick or treaters up there?
0.
Aw, we got one. Bought a big bag of candy. Got
No,
one.
2.
That's right. If you count the DoorDash driver, we got 2
Yeah.
because we gave him candy too.
I got more trick-or-treaters at the place I was staying in college than I did if you added up all the other years of my life combined.
Well, I mean, you were living on the main street, so yeah, that makes sense. And it was a house that the campus owned.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the house I was in senior year got trick or treaters because no one was manning the door. So,
And to set the record more, and basically, I would say, outside of college, I've had to give out candy 10 times.
For Halloween?
yeah.
Yes.
Now
And I
Dune
mean, to 10 trick-or-treaters total. That's it in my
Dune-
entire lifetime.
Dune writes in, I was hoping G-Man would have given out beer.
Oh, there you go.
No, but senior year, I think we drank down a few beers. That was Halloween, our infamous car trip and drinking binge.
That's right.
two unrelated events, the drinking of which happened after the said car. Gothard got to watch all in one night. Me say at the family dinner table, no, I don't drink, to watching me get trashed off my ass and fall out of the couch, all in the same night.
That must have been a very proud moment for you, Gothard.
Yep.
Very proud.
That was a bad moment for me. I fooled my dad. It took me long enough. Had to get to college to fool him. Dune writing in. Wait, did we miss the tree story? Oh my God! I almost forgot.
Can you believe it? What do you mean
You
you
know-
almost forgot? You did forget.
I completely forgot.
That's why I was here early, Gators. I was waiting for the tree story.
I wasn't even prepared for this. Oh my God!
Shit.
It was a Halloween night many years ago, but that was a different car trip from the one I was just talking about. That was a college car trip. This was a post-college car trip when it was no longer appropriate for us to be hanging out with a bunch of school children late at night, as the police pointed out to us. But Dune writing in, you have to go back someday. No, we were given strict instructions never to go back.
I don't know who you are now.
They made it very clear they never wanted to see us there again.
Gators, those people probably retired 10 years ago. It's okay.
I don't-
Go
one of
back,
them
but
was-
not on Halloween and during the daytime.
And we won't stop. Oh my God, that would be. I guess we could do a drive-by while streaming from my phone onto Twitch. I guess we could. Well, what reason would the two of us have to be in Jersey at the same time, though? That's the thing. I go to Jersey from time
To recreate the tree story.
You have no ties to Jersey anymore, I don't think. Do you still have any relatives in Jersey at this point?
Nope.
No. So you you've got no ties to Jersey anymore.
Abandon the state.
Wait, well you still got family friends in Jersey though. Because John's still alive, so you still
That's
visit
it.
him. Yeah. Yeah. All right,
That's
so
all.
we'll go visit him. Listen to some Beatles mono albums, and then drive by the tree.
We'll go to Vintage Vinyl.
No, they closed.
Oh, that's right.
They barely had any vinyl anyway. The last time I was there,
Damon?
we could visit Damon. We just take the turnpike.
Yeah. Go find a DeLorean somewhere. You know.
Oh. Speaking of DeLorean, so and things around Halloween, everyone knows The Stand. I mean, no, not The Stand. The Stephen King story.
Mm-hmm.
The Langoliers.
Yeah. Well, the newest one they refer to the standpipe that's in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the latest version, the only shot that's actually shot in Maine is the standpipe that's in Bangor. So I decided just as a lark to go drive by that way because I was in Bangor. And as I was driving up, the house before it had a DeLorean.
Oh,
Nice.
I was like,
Oh.
so you're next door to the famous standpipe from Stephen King's It book, and you have a DeLorean. Funny.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That makes it doubly as awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So not only will Google Maps show you where the Devil's Tree is, but it will also show us the amount of driving we had to do in one day to get to said Devil's Tree, because we were in Lincolnville at the time. And as you can see here, well, there's Lincolnville. There's the Devil's Tree, and wow,
There's a lot of construction on the way.
a lot of construction on the way there to the Devil's Tree.
But we didn't take that way. We actually went the way with the Tappan Zee Bridge, which is now whatever they call that bridge.
But the Devil's Tree, not hard to find if you so want to. So
Formerly known as, right?
right. So I had recently moved to Maine, but a lot of my shit was still at my parents' home in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And I was looking for an excuse to get back to Jersey. I mean, heck, I had just made a completely jarring life life-changing decision recently, and I immediately missed home. So it's like, I was using the excuse I need to get home to pack up the car with some more stuff and bring some stuff that I left behind in Jersey to work on transitioning my stuff out there. But it's like, I want to go home and visit family and friends. That's really all it was. And so
You're home in the sack.
Yeah.
The cul-de-sac.
The cul-de-sac, yes. And we go pick up Robert, we hang out and have a good time, have some fun. And Robert went from, talking about how he was going to grow up to be a priest to, hey man, let's get really fucked up, man, which I guess they kind of go together. It's just that he was using cheap vodka and cheap sake instead of sacramental wine, but that's okay.
Well, it was an upgrade.
It was an upgrade, yeah, or a downgrade. Let's see. Do we know if the tree's still there? Well, we'll have to take a look. It says tourist attraction. Look at the reviews. Okay, we do have to look at the reviews here. It's got 131 reviews here. These are all people who... Oh, and it's closed today. It's open Tuesday, 24 hours, and it's open Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 4. Oh, they got business hours.
See, they were smart and decided to charge people.
But they were closed on Halloween. They were closed on Sunday for Halloween.
You know what? That is when you have to go check it out.
Well, we went on a Saturday, although it was...
Does it have its own website?
That's a good question. I don't see a website for. I see an option to claim this business, and they had a phone number and they had a website. No, it does not. But Mondays are a popular time. Wow. So we went on a Saturday, and it says it's open from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. on Saturday. So I don't know what the problem was. This place is open 24/7. It's overgrown and not really taken care of. It's definitely creepy. If you would like to watch my video on what I caught, look up my YouTube channel, Jennifer Baltimore, and there's some pictures. If you really want to experience the eerie vibes this tree has to offer, I suggest you visit after dark, preferably after 12 a.m. The neighbors really love that. No. To enhance the eeriness, crawl behind the tree and take a seat with your back against the tree and just listen for a good 5 minutes alone. Close your eyes for a few minutes. I witnessed what sounded like 3 to 4 people whispering amongst each other in a language I'd never heard before. At times, I also heard footsteps walking towards me from about 10 feet away. I made sure I was the only person there. All in all, it was a very thrilling experience. Abandoned roadside and historic urbex, right? It's in pretty cool and legendary location. People have tortured this tree, and yet it stands. Been meaning to visit for years, and this time around finally made it. Was not disappointed to meet the devil's tree, to meet the devil's tree acquaintance.
Wow. Look at that.
Oh, we got a 1-star review here from Ashley. My mom is visiting us in New Jersey and wanted to go. It's regular old beat-up tree in an old overgrown field. Highly recommend not going, as you could probably go in your backyard and see a similar one. The only haunting thing about this tree were the 2 hours I drove to see it. We drove 8! That's nothing.
Okay, so Johnny, when was the last time you saw it?
Well, let's see. That was... Oh, shit. What year was that? You know what? I got to go to the archives and look this up because we told the story a year after the first time we told it. And so that was...
You tell it every year.
My guess is 2003?
2005 is my guess.
Or 2004.
All right, well, let's see. Show archive.
So what you need to do, okay, so when
you're
you
right.
figure that out, you're going to go for a 20th anniversary.
Well,
Right?
2005 was the year of our first show, which was the first telling. So it was 2004. So you said a 20th or 25th?
Yeah, I would say 20 years.
20 years. Okay, so that's going to
Unless
be...
you want to wait to 25.
It's in 3 years that we'll get to the 20th year anniversary of our night there. So I guess Halloween 2024, Gothard and I can try to arrange to take a drive down to Jersey. You in for this?
Me?
Gothard.
Someone's got to watch.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I'll go down.
Now, Brian, how about you fly out and join us?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, Mars.
I can't make it. I have to wash my socks.
Oh, you do?
We'll buy you new socks.
You don't know my size.
They're
Seven.
I'll,
Me too.
I'll go with you and we'll buy some socks there.
We'll buy them together at the Walmart.
Wait, I don't want to go to that Walmart. You worked there before. They're gonna recognize you.
Yeah,
They're gonna
no,
sell me They're gonna sell me 2 left socks,
I
Gators.
don't think anyone I knew still
Mars,
works
Gators?
there,
Mars.
except maybe Julie.
I'll
They're gonna
go
sell
with
me 2
you and
left
they
socks.
won't recognize me.
What?
I'll go with you and they won't recognize me.
They might.
Now, will Dune?
Which one?
Maybe Dune could fly
The
out
one,
here.
in San Leandro?
Yeah.
No, hey, Dune, you
Oh,
in?
no, they won't
Dune,
recognize
you want to
me. The
fly
last time
out?
I was there,
2024?
Halloween?
Halloween?
I bought a curbside item
Really?
a year ago.
A curbside item? A trash can?
Yeah, I ordered on curbside to say pick it up at this Walmart.
Oh,
in
I
San
thought you were
Leandro.
buying an item that goes on your curbside like a trash can.
No.
Oh. Those are
Dune,
given to me, so
Dune is in. Dune is on the record as he's going to fly out here 2024 Halloween.
Right,
Me, Gothard,
right.
Dune. Now, Brian, you said you're in,
Yeah, and I got to try to drag Mars with me.
and we'll try to get Mars out here too. Who else do we need in on this? I wonder if the Dark Elf is in.
Damon.
Damon, we'll swing by. We'll take the turnpike. We'll pick up Damon.
Yeah.
And we'll get him. We'll have to get a big vehicle.
Get a big old Suburban.
Something that'll stand out.
A big old Suburban. Yeah, a black one. Black Suburban. And
Yes.
if anybody questions you, says, yeah, well, we're with the DEA.
You know what? We'll have your sunglasses just in case, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to say DEA, but they're going to think Man in Black. Right?
But anyways, just to answer Dune's question if the tree's still there, and we've seen several pictures. I don't know when they've taken, but if we go to a street view, this here is the corner where
Are we going to get a sack of sliders before we go?
Wait, where is this? Where's this? Oh my God, where is it? I must be in the wrong. No, it's. Oh, here we go. I was looking the wrong side of the road. Yeah, we'll get some
sliders.
We can get some sliders.
That's about where the car got pulled over.
Yeah, but I don't see. Oh, is it that one? Man, it does not stand out as much as it used to, though. They've pruned it back some. But yeah, that's the tree, and yeah, that's where we got pulled over because we were parked over here, about here, and we were getting in the car and just about to pull out into traffic when this cop came around from the front, and cut us off, and
Are we allowed to climb the tree?
No.
Well, we weren't. It's not that you're not allowed to climb the tree. It's that you're not allowed to park your vehicle and exit the vehicle because
They probably have parking hours gators now.
Well, as you can see here, there is a sign here that says no stopping or standing any time and no littering.
Wait, no standing.
So just drive off the
can't
road.
stand?
Big old Suburban, no problem.
Yeah, no, we got plenty of room to park here, and we'll just have to make sure that we don't we sit the whole time that we get out, and we'll just scoot around their butts, and we'll be fine.
Can we get a bunch of those like
Without stopping, we'll just keep
Just
scooting.
like ninjas.
Yeah.
whatever.
Ninjas.
So yeah, this street view was taken in 2019. So there's 2 years more growth by now, or pruning, or whatever.
Don't even see any difference.
Well, yeah.
Crawling's not standing, right?
What's that?
Crawling, we can crawl, right?
Yeah, crawl. It doesn't say anything about crawling. It just says no stopping or standing. So as long as we don't stand, and as long as we don't stop what we're doing, we could just keep moving along.
Or we could run, right? Hop
Well,
on
that-
the car and run.
Well, that would involve standing, being in an upright position. So I think we have to
Right.
crawl, or we could roll around. We could we could crab walk.
No, run isn't standing.
Well,
When
well,
was the last time you tried to crab walk?
it's been a while.
Can you do it?
Probably.
Can you get up after
I mean,
crab
what?
walking?
Crab walking is like break dancing without flipping around, right?
Okay, Gators. Can you get up after crab walking?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think I can. So,
Okay.
but before we get to the point of being pulled over in that little spot over there,
Can do
we-
crab walk?
we didn't crab walk. We picked up Genocide Rob, and we went over our options to hang out that evening. And Genocide Rob wanted to go check out an abandoned mental hospital. And I was like,
That one's probably been on a couple of those things.
and I said, well, I don't want to, get into the business of trespassing or breaking or entering and get hassled by the police. Why don't we just do something safer and we'll just go to the Devil's Tree? Because, no police problems there. But as the police pointed out to us, that the tree is on private property. So once we set foot out of the car, we were trespassing. So we drove out to the Devil's Tree. We parked the car. We trespassed on the private property. I think the statute of limitations is up, so I can say that now. And a bunch of high school age children drove up in a bunch of clown cars. About 3 or 4 cars all pulled up right around the same time. After about 5 minutes of just you, me, and Rob kind of chilling there. It was quiet. It was, nothing exciting.
20 kids in a Volkswagen
And-
Rabbit. I understand this.
He,
About 50 kids pile out of 3 cars. It
I
was
think
that.
it's about 5 cars, but still.
It was a lot. Suddenly, it was a large group of teenagers, and not that many cars. I don't recall. Maybe it was 5. I remember 3. And when I think back, that crowd doesn't seem right for that number of cars. So you're probably right. You were starting to say?
It was like you could hear the circus music come on. and you thought, where's the chaperone? And then you're like, we're the chaperone. Oh no.
And I was in the moment, so Genocide Rob is climbing the tree. They're all cheering him on. Go, 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 go. I felt left out. I tried to climb the tree. They're all cheering me on. Go, 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 go.
Did you make it?
I made it up a certain height. I don't know how
I'm
far.
watching the lights turn on across the way. I'm like, oh no.
Gothard has this very quiet, concerned look on his face, and I'm like. He's like, we should go.
He's like the guy that stands outside the bathrooms everybody's smoking in high school.
We should
He's
go
a
now.
lookout.
And I'm like,
Yes.
what? He's like, no, trust me. We should get out of here. And Robert doesn't want to go right away. So and I'm kind of like, well, whatever. We're hanging out a tree. What could go wrong? What's the worst that could happen? And of course, a bunch of these kids had their phones. This is before smartphones, but some of the phones still had the option to take
the
little
T9.
low res video clips. So somewhere out there is evidence that could be used against us of us climbing this tree. And good luck finding that. So. That is Dune's ultimate goal, is to track down these kids in New Jersey who had the phones at night and see if he could dump the contents to get
That's if the content is visible enough. I mean, it's probably like Real Player from 1999.
Yeah, something really low quality.
Real Player 7.
5 Dune writes in, maybe we can find a local dude that will swerve off the road for $20 and accidentally mow that sign down. I don't think the sign disappearing makes the trespassing disappear, because that sign wasn't there that night.
What sign?
When we did a street view, there's now a sign that says no stopping or standing.
Couple M1000s to take care of that Gators. Take them on the bottom and light them and go. That sign's not going to be
There you
around.
go. Yeah, but that
Just saying.
doesn't, just because there's not a sign doesn't mean it's not private property that we're trespassing by setting foot out of the car there. Although normally when you're trespassing on property and not being intrusive, you just get asked to leave. But that was not how things went down that night. So yeah, Gothard was getting concerned, and plus some asshat threw a bunch of rotten eggs at the tree. So
Why
that
are
kind
you
of
doing that? You don't need to do that. It's already fertilized enough. It's still growing. It's fine.
and so that put a damper on climbing the tree because it was all covered with
Rotten egg.
Yeah. So that at that point it's like, okay, we're done climbing it. Thanks for thanks for that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let's get out of here. And so, of course, as we're heading to the car, people are yelling whose house the party's at. And Genocide Rob, infinite genius he is, yells out, "Party at Gator's house!" Although I think he actually said party at John's
I should have gotten in the car and left him there, honestly. That's my feeling.
And no one took him seriously, and no one tried to follow us, which we didn't have an opportunity for anyone to try to follow us to our house. So we get in the car. They get in the car. And just as I mean, did you even get a chance to get into gear before that cop came flying around the corner and just swerved right in front of us?
First, and then I had to stop.
Yeah, so we were technically in gear, moving forward, when a cop comes out of nowhere and just swerves right in front of us. And it's this hindsight is a thing because we totally could have played this off as, we're just passing through here, officer. We have no idea what's going on here. One thing I've learned from watching YouTube videos: don't talk to the police. Am I free to go? Am I being held? What are the charges? Those are the types of statements that you should use when cops want to get information from you. No good can come from talking to the cops. And all three of us would take turns proving that. So
Live and learn.
So, me being a naive young fool who, was like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Just be honest and I'll be fine. And
no.
Officer Asshat was the first one to come up to approach the car, and you played it cool. You actually said, "Just passing through, officer," and I totally didn't follow your lead. Totally blew right past that and said, "We're just here to see the tree, officer." That was.
It seemed innocent enough at the time.
It seemed innocent at the time, but Gothard had the right line. Just passing through, officer. Hindsight, easy to do. All we had to do was say, we're lost, we're looking for 22, could you help us get back there?
That's what I was hoping you guys would say. And then we're like, no, just the tree.
We led sheltered lives, Gothard. We've never dealt with police
Gators,
before.
My thing was, main plates, different state. You can play the idiot that's lost card.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy,
And so
easy peasy.
and so he's like, well, what are you doing? Well, no, before I said we're just here to see the tree, there was a whole passing through
The
here
kids were already there, right?
from Maine. So yeah, the kids are already there because the police officers are stopping.
We saw these kids stop, but we're just seeing what they're doing. See, that could be also.
There were a million things we could have said that would have been better than hindsight 2020.
We were trying to get to White Castle.
Now the important thing, one of the important
It's Harold, I'm Kumar.
right. One of the important details that was at play this evening was that New Jersey had recently passed a driving curfew for younger drivers, that they were not allowed to drive without a parent or an adult in the car past dusk. So all these children were in violation of that curfew, which means that they all letting them drive off was not an option. The police officer had to haul them all in. And I don't know if they towed the cars but basically that was what worked in our favor because, we were the only people present there that they could just send on their way. And at least we don't have to deal with these three yahoos, but they're going to make us work for that. And we could have just said, we're lost, pass it through. Cause they're like, what are you doing here from Maine? The hell you do? And I'm like, I can explain. My parents live in New Jersey. We're in the area visiting my family. Really, and I said, where do your parents live? Hillsborough. That's the other side of the county. What are you doing here? And that's what I said. We're just here to see the tree, officer. He didn't like that answer. And that's when he said, well, the problem is that the tree is on private property. If you leave the car, you're trespassing. Did you leave the car? And we all just kind of stared in silence like, oh shit, we're like not getting out of here soon. And he's like, you hang tight. And so I immediately knew, like, oh my God, this all hinges on us claiming that we didn't leave the car. That's like the last thing that we have, is that we all didn't leave the car, as far as they know. That was the only, and so I realized, oh shit, I'm in over my head. And instead of worrying about myself saying something stupid, which Gothard's over there worrying about, I'm worried about good old Rage Boy Genocide Rob behind us saying something stupid at some point. And so
that's where you just let Gothard do all the talking.
And then also I'm thinking, like, I don't think Gothard travels with like pot in the car, but is there pot? And so I like
I would not have said a thing. I would just look the other way and not think about it.
Well, that's all I could. And once you start thinking about that, the only thing you can think about is, does he have pot in the car? And are the police going to find pot in the car? And I think I asked the question like, hey, Gothard, you don't have anything in the car that get us in trouble, do you? And it was an awkward question to ask, but it was just like eating away at my mind, even though I was pretty sure.
Did the cop hear that?
Pretty sure. Well, no, the cop was way over. The cop was tending to the children, which were like around the corner. So we had a good buffer zone to talk.
This was in
ourselves.
Between moments that they stopped and checked on us.
Right. Because there were moments that he took our licenses, said hang tight, and went and started harassing the kids. And that's when we had a little quiet conversation, and Gothard was like rightfully appalled at my question. No, of course not.
We got to the point that they took our licenses. Now we have to get the fucking licenses back.
Yeah, that's our mission.
To stay.
So the other officer, who's like this older guy, comes around the corner, comes up to the car, and he like does like a stunned look, like, you guys aren't teenagers in here.
Nope.
And Gothard just very, nonchalant. No, officer, we're not. and he's like, what are you all doing here? Hanging out with a bunch of kids. And that's when Robert said his one stupid line for the night. And to be fair, we all got our turn. And this was Robert's turn. Well, and Robert's line of the night was, well, they didn't get here till later. Mind you, the one thing that's on my mind is we have to keep going with the story that we never left the car. And I felt like he just showed our hand by saying, well, they didn't get here till later, which told the police officers we were here longer than them.
Could have been more vague by saying, oh, we got here separately.
Or better answer, I don't know. We're not with them. We're not with them.
Right.
We have nothing to do with them. Yeah, we don't know them. No, we're not here with them. No. But
if you had just said, I didn't notice, we were still trying to figure out where we were.
Right.
That would have been the perfect answer.
Right. So he further established we were here to look at the tree, which and that was when I realized, like, I think I did a grimace when he said, well, they didn't get here till later. I was like, ooh, no, you just incriminated us right there. And so he kind of like played it cool. Like, well, then he starts messing with me. He tried to do this whole get me to admit things. So he starts looking at me funny. He goes, well, what are you all messed up on tonight? And I'm like, and mind you,
classic line.
I hadn't had anything. First of all, that was before I even would, smoke pot regularly
It's a phishing scam.
It was a phishing scam. What's up? What are you all messed up on tonight? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, oh, you're on something. Your eyes are crazy. You're all. I'm like, hey, officer, if you want to, pull me in for a test or something, I'll gladly, take a test. But I have nothing. He's like, oh no, that's okay. That won't be necessary. But you just know that I know because I could see in your eyes. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, what could he do? If I get upset, I'm just playing into it. So I'm just like, whatever. And I know that, you know, if he wants to bring me in to pee in a cup, there's nothing to find there unless he starts messing with that. But so I said, hang tight, we'll get you out of here, or something to that effect. Like, he was kind of cool, but he was still kind of a dick to me about that. And after he left is when I said, hey, Robert, let us do the talking. And in reality, Gothard should have said, yeah, better yet, Gators, let me do the talking. But Gothard's too nice for that. He's not. It's like, well, we're already fucked.
New Jersey police are listening to this. You know.
I don't know.
The shovels are out, and we're digging our own grave.
You played it really cool for, you know, being in a car with two people that just totally, you know, fucked us all over. You kept it cool. It's like, damn it, I'm in a car with two idiots. There's nothing I can do about this. I may as well just play it cool.
Screw you guys, I'm out of here.
Because I'm like, dude, Robert, you shouldn't have said that. And of course he got a little defensive. And I'm like, no, whatever. Okay, let's just all be cool. So at some point they both come back over. And they're like, hey, you mind if we search the car? And, you know, once again, any YouTube video will say that the correct answer is no. But we're like, we got nothing to lose here. So Gothard can.
I said, search all you want. There's nothing in here, and because there literally was not. It was a case of I hadn't even put a scraper for snow or anything in there.
We didn't even have a turkey sandwich in the car.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if the question came up, got the turkey? Nope.
Nope. We don't got the. You know, they asked us.
We hadn't even gotten to White Castle yet.
You got the turkey?
Nope. we didn't get anywhere. So I think he even popped the trunk, let them poke around in there. There's nothing in there. I don't think you even had a suitcase with you. You just had a shopping bag. So of course they see that in the back seat. What's in the bag? It's a shirt. A shirt? And we hand them the bag. And they took the shirt out of the bag.
It came down from Maine, right?
Right. I don't know. I think maybe you had a suitcase and maybe you already had it in the house, but there was just the only thing we had in the car was a plastic shopping bag with a shirt in it. And they searched the shirt and they found that, yes, it is a shirt. And so it's like, we got nothing on these guys, you know? we got nothing. The thing is, though, is that they were suspicious of 20-something-year-olds from Maine being at this remote location at the same time as a bunch of high school students. And there was, they tipped their hand a little bit towards the end and revealed that their line of thought was maybe there's some kind of a shady deal going down here. Could be some kind of a drug deal or something, that we're bringing in the good stuff that came in from Canada down to Maine and we're bringing it down. Wow. And this is the handoff. I think they were, you know, kind of looking for evidence that we might be selling them drugs, you know, because why else would a bunch of 20-something-year-olds be meeting a bunch of high school students at some remote location in New Jersey, right in a residential area across the street from a bunch of houses with big windows facing that direction?
Actually, in that Google Maps trip, I didn't see any houses.
Oh yeah, no, they're we'll have to pan around.
They're across the street and way away, like.
But they were visual. I mean, they saw us all that. Here, let me share that back out. All right. So yeah, there's no houses in this direction. But if we pan around, there's a house over there.
That's basically the house that.
Yeah. There wasn't as many pine trees up at this time, though. I could see that house pretty clearly, and I think there might have been another house over back here somewhere. I mean, that's a driveway that goes back to something. But this road down
that's
here
where
is
you get your drugs.
Yeah. See, but this here's a residential road, house. There's a house there. There's a house there. There's a lot of trees. But yeah, so this little road off here is into a neighborhood. So it's not exactly middle of nowhere. What's this sign say? Park closed, half hour after sunset. Violators will be prosecuted. Oh, okay. So we got to go when the sun up.
Yep.
It's a park, apparently. Although I'm not quite sure about that.
How's it trespassing then?
At the time, it was private property. That's what the police told us.
Yeah, the police lied about a lot of shit.
Well, anyways, so at this point they found nothing. They have
My
nothing.
Aunt Millie lives here.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing they could hold us on at this point is suspicion of trespassing. And I mean, I think even if
is that an actual crime?
Trespassing is a crime, and they suspect that we were
suspicion of it. I mean,
right.
They have to actually witness you do something, or get you to confess because you're an idiot.
Well, they could have brought us into the station, trying to bully us into confessing to trespassing. I mean, we already implicated ourselves by some of the things we said. I mean, that was all I'm saying. They didn't have much, which is why they let us go. I mean, really, the only thing they could have held us on was that they suspected we may have trespassed on this property. That ain't exactly a bring 'em in, boys type of thing. Unless they really thought that there was a drug deal and they just needed to hold us until they can find more evidence. But, I don't know. Maybe they were searching for drugs on the other guys and they were clean. Maybe we got lucky there. I never thought about that.
That's right, because they looked at you first and then went go talk to the kids.
Well, they split up. One officer came to they came from opposite ends. So the older officer started with the kids, and the younger officer started with us.
They want to shoot each other in the crossfire.
Right, well, no, they blocked both ends of the road so no one could drive away. They basically closed the corner.
Yeah.
Is what they did, because like I said, we pulled out onto the road, we're driving, and he came and swerved in front of us and parked his, car at an angle across both lanes of traffic. And I think the older officer probably did the same from the other side. So they basically
they
just
were in separate cars.
Right. They closed us all in. So the older guy started questioning us. No, the younger guy started questioning us. The older guy started down there. That's why the older guy goes through all these cars of kids, comes to our car, and is like, "You're not a bunch of teenagers." It's like, "No, we're not.
No, we came with the drugs."
No. That would not have been a good moment for a joke.
Right.
We brought the hash pipe.
My favorite line, though, being a person being pulled over. One of my friends in high school, he was way out in the boonies, and there's this stop sign in the middle that has no business being there. And so he just blew through the stop sign. But around the corner was a cop. He saw it, and he pulled him over.
Yeah.
And the cop came up to the window and says, "Why did you blow through that stop sign?" And the guy just said, "Because I didn't see you." Hang him by his thumbs. And the cop, I think, was so surprised at that, he just let him go.
I doubt that.
No, that's true. That's true.
You think he let him go? That's how you want that story to go.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it makes a good story. I think that guy got the ticket. My buddy's on. He embellished on that. I think he got the ticket.
I don't think he got the ticket because he was a member of a high school group called the NML, the National Misdemeanors League.
Okay.
These were the cool kids. And if you got pulled over, you got some points. If you got a ticket, you got even more points. So you would have admitted that you got a ticket if you got one.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, so at this point, they searched our car. They found nothing. So Officer Asshat comes back around, our license is in hand, defeated look on his face. And Gothard here was feeling a little left out because, he got to observe
everyone making an ass of themselves.
Yeah, he got to see me be stupid, and he got to see Genocide Rob be stupid. And he said, "You know what? it's my turn to.
Eyes be stupid.
I mean, you sat there thinking like this will be easy peasy. We'll get right out of here, and then we say something. And you're like, oh shit. And so I think you wanted to share that experience with us where me and Robert are like, we're about ready to get out of here. And you wanted to give us our oh shit moment. and boy, oh boy, did you. Because Officer Asshole comes around, looks at us and says, all right, so you all didn't get out of the car, right? And I said, right. Robert said, right. Gothard, what was your line of the night?
Not that I know of.
He didn't like that answer.
No, cops don't like indirect answers.
No, he said, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I'm this close to just letting you go. And that's the answer you give me? Not that I know of? You all might be a bunch of kid touchers for all I know. And that was met with the appropriate response of blank stares of what in the fuck are you talking about? And I guess Gothard gave just the right look because at that he threw our licenses back at us and said, "Get the fuck out of here." Well, he threw the license and said, "Don't let me catch you around here again," I think is what he said. And we're gonna go meet him again in 3 years. Wouldn't that be great? We go back 3 years, all of us, Brian, Mars, Dune.
And the same cop?
The same cop shows up. Hey, remember us? We've been telling this story every year ever since. We brought some friends. They need to see it for themselves. Hey, this is Dune. Don't worry, he's not carrying.
This is Mars. Don't worry, he can't see you anyway, so it's fine.
That's right. He left his gun in Idaho.
He left
Idaho. Dang.
Idaho, Kansas. They're all states in the middle.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God. Dude's now worrying about potatoes.
Wheat, potatoes, they're all crops.
Right.
So speaking of things as flat as the state of Kansas, I've managed to get my weight down into the 250 range.
Oh, you went down?
Yeah.
Oh, good
yeah.
job.
So I mean, the line still looks flat. It looks nothing like the 2014 map, but it's well. Here, let me.
You were out walking with the ducks then, though, weren't you?
No, I didn't. I didn't do any walking. I just my normal stuff. But once again, so here now is the official Gators weight spreadsheet, and as you can see, that is a very flat-looking line. But there's actually a little bit of a dip coming in at the end there now.
There is a slight down curve there.
Yeah. And I mean, here I started, around the 255, 253, 54, 55, range here. And now if I get down to the end of the month, I'm pretty much just, flirting with the 250 here. I went down to 249.4 at one point, but I'm back up to 250.2 today because weight fluctuates. So you got to kind of take averages.
Yeah.
But,
depending on how much water you're carrying.
Right, but clearly I made that little dip. So I don't know if it's starting to work or if it's just going to keep working really slow. But okay, 5 pounds in a month, I'll take it. I mean, that's something.
12 months. That's
good.
That's 60 pounds.
I still would much rather my chart look more like my 2014 chart. I mean that now
Sure.
There's a line.
So you go, whoa, what was I doing back then?
I same diet. In 2014, I started the year at 265 pounds. I reached my lowest weight of the year in August at 209 pounds. I was averaging 7.64 pounds a month of weight loss. Of course, I went up at that point, and I ended the year at 225. And if you take an average of the whole year, that's about 3 1/3 pounds a month, all in all. Although it wasn't, I had some really good months, and then I backed off. And then 2015, I started at 225 pounds, and I reached my lowest weight in 2015 on May 9th of 201.8 pounds, and that's my lowest recorded weight I have. I'd never made it down to 200. 201.8 was the lowest I've hit any time recently. That was May 9th of 2015.
Oh, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is the here's the 2015. Where's the chart? I guess I keep pulling it down as the dates go down. So yeah, I mean, basically after gaining some weight back at the end of 2014, I did my New Year's resolution, and I kept to it from January to May, and then I moved back across the country, and during the move, I pretty much, you see this line that just shoots up. That's the drive back east.
Yeah,
And,
because you got fast food restaurants, which are terrible.
oh yeah, yeah, and
Should
as
have just gotten a load of beef jerky and just gone with that.
and then I went back on it and lost some weight, and that probably was unloading the truck and shit like
So
that.
where was the what put the weight back on before? I mean, you were showing the earlier.
Well, basically
But when was the rise?
at this point in 2015, I stopped even tracking it because I wasn't keeping to it strictly anymore. And-
So it just kind of appeared.
And so from 2015 till now, I've gradually gone more and more off. Because I still kept some habits. I still kept to avoiding carbs, except for carbs I really wanted. So I would still eat a chef salad for lunch. I still generally have some kind of like an egg or bacon egg breakfast. I would generally have a meat and veggie dinner. But then more and more I would, drink on the weekends, have beers, maybe get snack on some chips, get a little candy here and there. And the more I did that, the more it gained. And then, of course, I went to Disney and just ate and drank like crazy for a week. And by the time I get back from Disney in September 2021, I'm back around. I don't know what I weighed at the end of the month, but after doing a few days of actually I started the no carb again the first week I got back, and I didn't weigh in until October 4th. So I may have actually been more like 260 and lost a bunch of water weight that week.
Oh, that would have been actually good.
Yeah.
You would have seen some early results.
It would have been nice to have seen that, but I didn't catch that. And besides, that's just fake results anyway. So I just got rid of the fake results.
Not really. If you're at 260.
Five Hit Dunes pointing out why my weight is fluctuating. Because poop. And yes, that is absolutely true, because there are mornings where now and I think Vic, the coffee guy, has done a video about this, that there's a proper order of operation in the morning, and sometimes your body gets it wrong. But it's supposed to be shit, shower, shave. And the worst damn thing is when you take a shower, you get out of the shower, and you got to shit. It's like, damn it, I just washed. But usually I'll, after I disrobe, before I get in the shower, because I don't want to add any like water weight and that catches in whatever hair I have left or whatever, I usually weigh myself before I get in the shower. And so I do the weigh, I get in the shower, and if I get out of the shower and my body decides, okay, now I'm ready to shit, I'll grumble, I'll do the shit, and then I'll reweigh myself. And I'm always like a half pound lighter after that. So
wow, that's a lot of poop, sir. Dang.
I don't know. Maybe I washed a lot of dirt off of me in the shower.
Maybe there's that.
Could be that. So, anything I left out of the tree story?
Go. They let us go.
They let us go, right? And we drove back to Hillsboro, and
We stopped at White Castle.
did we?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Tried to
Even,
poop after
oh, that's
that.
right, because you wanted to get a coffee mug.
No, I didn't get the coffee mug, and I should have.
Oh, you wanted to get it the next time, but we never did.
Gators,
Yep.
you want to poop? Just buy a bunch of sliders, then you'll poop the next day, and
Yeah,
5 pounds lighter.
that's an idea.
It's
so-
all carbs. I mean, it's all protein.
Yeah. So we went to White Castle. We went back home,
Dude, I would have gotten a freaking cup.
and Robert had cheap sake and cheap vodka that made for a cheap hangover the next day.
Oh God!
Yes, I do not
Headaches.
forget the mixture of rum, vodka, and sake with sliders regurgitated.
Oh,
Delicious.
Oh, that's right. Because at some point, and at some point, one of my friends that I used to work with at the Walmart, he stops by. He's not a drinker. He's watched his brothers sleep off hangovers on the couch too much. That him being the younger brother, after watching his brothers do this to themselves, he's like, "Why would I do that? Why would I? Why would I? It's not that bad if you do it right. It's not that bad. Just drink a lot of water. But for some people, it is that bad. And Gothard's one of those people. And so while I'm getting drunk and being stupid, you made your way to the back porch and off the back balcony, and you
proceeded to
feed the dog
the backyard.
Yeah, to feed the dogwood tree out there in the back.
It all has to do with trees in the story.
My dad never appreciated that we always kept the puke outdoors instead of indoors. He never appreciated that. But
2 days and some rain, and it turns into, and it's gone. It really is.
It really is. But my dad never really. Well, my dad didn't know about the puke in the backyard. It was the puke in the driveway at the Shore House that he got sore about, and then.
You right, see it and smell it. You don't want. The backyard. You got grass and.
Well, I still remember I was still a little pissed at him because, I'm like, whatever, I'll go hose it down or whatever. And he's like, you going to take care of that? You got to be responsible for it. I'm like, dude, I got this. I get the hose. He comes out to watch me spray down the puke. And he's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm spraying it down. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to water it down. It's going to saturate it. It's getting into the ground there. He's like, well, how does that help? I'm like, okay, Dad, what do you want me to do? It's like, I don't know. This is your problem. I'm like,
I approve of your dad. He cracks me up. That's great. That's great.
Okay, then why don't you get out of here and let me deal with it? Oh, all right, okay then. And he wandered off because he realized.
Else to do, I guess, right?
Because he realized I'm a grown ass man and he can't ground me anymore. So that kind of ended the conversation.
You know what? I'd still be outside making smart ass comments, Gators. I have no problem with this. Dude, I approve of your dad right there. I have higher respect.
He was just being a smart ass.
I don't care. It's hilarious.
Fuck that. I'm busy. I'm closing down puke that my friend left behind.
You missed a spot.
You missed a chunk.
But Gothard's puke. Gothard had the sense to puke it out in the backyard in an area that no one would notice and no one would see. So Genocide Rob, he's got puke front and center. He's proud of it. He got to show that off. Someone's gonna drive up the driveway. They're gonna see, wow, that's where he puked.
You know what? Why did you make him clean that up?
Oh, God. There were a few defining moments where I knew this friendship was destined to fail between me and Genocide Rob. One of them was one of the last few visits that we hung out. Because I would drive down to Jersey, and I'd say, hey, let's hang out. And he's like, dude, we're going to get fucked up, man. We're going to get so fucked up. And so he buys a bottle of... He comes with a bottle of vodka, a 12-pack of... what's that? Red Bull Light.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh God!
And because he's trying to work out and build muscle.
Weight?
Yeah, he's got to bulk up. He wanted to build muscle, but he didn't want all the sugar because that's bad for you. So he get the sugar-free Red Bull. No, that's right. It wasn't Red Bull Light. It was sugar-free Red Bull. Sugar-free Red Bull and vodka. Mind you, not chilled vodka, warm, brand new bottle of vodka. And our ice maker in our freezer leaked. So the only thing I could bring down for ice was a big, 3 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot block of ice.
Gators. My question is, this is my big question. Why the hell did Genocide Rob get one of those big giant blue bags of ice while he was at it? He went to the store to buy this. Bring the ice too.
He also, to be fair, he did also bring a bottle of cheap wine. Remember?
That's going to make it even better, isn't it?
Well, remember there was that brand of wine, Vampire Wine, as featured on Bam Margera's Unholy Union, where they drove all the way to Transylvania to buy the bottle of this wine, and then they get there and they're like, oh, wait, this is the same stuff they sell at the grocery stores. But anyways, yeah. But we didn't even get the bottle of wine open. This was during a Christmas visit. I drive down like the day before Christmas Eve or something. I'm gonna get fucked up. So he brings all this stuff. Mind you, I'm rounding up some ice. We're basically chipping off pieces of ice to put in the shot glass to fill halfway with vodka, halfway with Red Bull. As I'm bringing the ice down, he's already downing his third shot of vodka. And he's already like, fallen into a chair. And it's like, dude, I haven't even had my first shot yet. You're already drunk. No, man, I'm not drunk. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is inevitably the night draws to a close, and it was not a fun night. It was not an unfun night, but it was just me and Robert sitting around in the basement drinking, joking around. And that gets boring after a while. It's like, let's do something. We don't do things anymore. What do we do?
What are you guys going to do? He's drunk.
Right. Well, we could have, not get fucked up. But that was never an option. It was always, dude, we're going to get fucked up. We're going to get so fucked. We're going to get so fucked. We're going to hate ourselves for the next week. And I'm
Why
paraphrasing.
would you want that? I don't see. Okay, this is speaking from a
that's
non-drinker.
parody. That is parody.
That's paraphrasing.
Yeah.
You know what? This is speaking of a non-drinker. Why
Right.
the hell would you want to do that?
I'm kind of mocking him in that sense. And mind you, we would have fun. We'd have good laughs, and I have some fond recollections of those evenings, but they never ended fun. They always ended with, now I'm really drunk. Now I got to chug some water to drink this off, sleep this off, and now I'm probably going to feel crappy for a bit of the next day. And I could deal with that. It was fine. But what was really annoying was that Robert had no courtesy or consideration when he put himself in this situation. So, we had the couch in the basement, and he'd crash on the couch in the basement because he ain't driving anywhere till he sobers up. And he also drank himself to the point of getting stupidly sick.
Whoa, why?
And then and before I can even bring him a bucket, he pukes all over the floor. So I'm here drunk out of my mind at the point where I just want to go pass out somewhere, and I'm mopping his puke off the floor.
While basement, did it have a drain in it?
No. And of course, Genocide Rob finds this absolutely hilarious. So he is laughing his ass off while I'm mopping up his puke. And that was one of those moments where I'm like,
oh,
this is my friend?
Oh, no, Gators. This is called, I now have a mop full of puke. Robert's right there. Guess what? They're saying hi to each other. That's how that goes right there.
Yeah, it would have messed up the couch. Then my dad would be talking about responsibility for my actions that messed up the couch.
No. You tell your dad. Robert was laughing at me as he puked on the floor. They met. I'm sorry, the couch was an innocent bystander. No, your dad would have laughed.
Well,
I guarantee you.
Well, my dad's comment on that story was, "This is your friend."
Yeah. You're like, well, maybe.
And I think that's when I lament the fact that Robert and I are no longer on speaking terms. I think that's the thing that comes to my dad's mind when he's like, "Well, you really did try there, you." Because that was not the end. We hung out a few other times. Really, the final nail in the coffin was the harassment I got for the show recordings that he wanted me to delete. And I don't even think they're that bad. Yeah, he said some stupid shit, but we all did. And, we
I think he's probably trying to erase the past so he can go to the future. And,
right.
Especially if he's in a public eye.
Well, right, but that's okay because we're not talking about Kane London. We're talking about Genocide Rob. Kane London, totally different guy. And he doesn't use either of those names anymore anyways, even if it was the same person.
So he was doing porno?
No.
He just sounded like one of those kind of names.
Kane London? Maybe.
Kane London was his porn name. No. He didn't do porn. He's had a few bit parts in some shows and some independent movie he had a part in. I haven't caught up on anything he's done lately, but I believe last I heard he's in the LA area basically trying to do the whole acting thing. I don't know what's paying the bills for him because it's probably not acting, but you still got to respect that he actually did go for it and do it.
Cheesecake Factory.
Well, he was out there for a number of years before Uber and Lyft became a thing. So I don't. Not to
Corner-
mention,
Street?
if he drove for Uber, he'd just be breaking down halfway through the drive in that Chevy Cavalier every ride he got. Did he still have the Chevy Cavalier when we were hanging out? Did you ever?
No, he was borrowing his mother's Taurus or something. Or
His grandmother's. Oh, they upgraded. Yeah, it was his grandmother's Chevy Cavalier. He used to drive all the. Which, oh man, Adam Sandler wrote a song about that car. And I don't care what Adam Sandler says. He wrote that song about Genocide Rob's car.
I think a lot of people have had one of those kind of cars.
Piece of shit car. Well,
I
My
had a
personal-
Chevy Vega.
My personal favorite of customization to a POS car is the one of my classmates had one that I think it was one of those horrible Chrysler products that was basically a K car that was gone horribly bad, and they painted a Italian pizza box cover on the hood.
Oh, that's not bad.
oh, wait a minute. You know,
A friend of mine in college took his car. It needed paint. So, that's an unusual color. It's kind of a bluish, orangish, whatever. Look up close. Oh, I can see roller marks. Oh, he bought some house paint and he rolled the paint on the car.
That's way better. My friend, his sunroof was leaking, so he took bathroom caulk and caulked it and had duct tape on the bumper. That's the best I could do.
well, you know what? This just reminded me
Yeah.
that the Chevy Cavalier was retired before I moved to Maine. Because that's right. Because at some point, Genocide Rob, bought for a while he was driving a Plymouth Neon, a red Plymouth Neon. And he put a what do they call it, like that type of fin that you put on the back of your car that's like a racing car has?
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, but not like
Alert.
like the thing that actually has things that prop it up, like
The fin that looks
The fin.
proportionally way out of size.
the type of thing that would look completely wrong on a Plymouth Neon. Yeah.
John.
Right,
That's
right.
great.
Oh my god!
I had a Mustang that had that short spoiler, which really was kind of useless.
Yeah.
Could get shark fins to replace it, and it would fit in the existing holes. I was very tempted to do that.
At some point, we had Dark Elf photoshopped a version of what that car would look like, and I can't find that picture anymore. Oh man, I'm just searching for things with car in it, and I have Cartman and J Squared Robot help me with my telethon show.
My other
MP3.
personal favorite repaint job, or it wasn't really repaint, resurface job, I would call it, is somebody in my hometown decided that when their Volkswagen Golf got a little ugly looking, that they just super glued AstroTurf all over it.
That's great.
But
Awesome.
So
But-
this car was literally done up in AstroTurf on the outside.
but yes, it winged.
But super glue.
I mean,
Super glue is brittle.
he put this wing on the back of the car, and it looked so ugly. Oh, but the Chevy Cavalier, I got like 3 good stories about that car. So
Story number one.
story number 1, he was working at Kmart, and he got into a race in the parking lot. And what happened was he was driving straight towards the exit, and someone else that he worked with was coming from the left to come towards where the exit was, and then he's come from the left side, so he'd come out to the intersection for the exit and make a left to get to the exit. And so he starts speeding up, Robert starts speeding up, and so the both of them are speeding up to get to the exit first, so that one of them has to wait behind the other. And Robert decides that he doesn't have to be worried about this because he has the right of way since he's going straight towards the exit. So Robert just floors it, figuring, well, he has to stop. And that was Robert's defense the whole night. I had the right of way. He was in the wrong. And when I repeated the story to my dad goes, he was in a race with someone else. That's not how that works. You know, you're asking for trouble doing that. They're both, But Robert got to the intersection first, but the other car didn't stop. And so that's how dent number 1 happened. So Robert had a dent over the front driver's side wheel, which made a scraping sound anytime he went over a bump and made it difficult to open that door all the way. So that was story number 1. And that was the night that I punched him because he kept whining the whole night. Oh my God, what am I going to tell my grandparents? Oh my God, what am I going to tell my grandparents? Oh my God, what am I going to tell my grandparents? And every time after about the 20th time he said that, and I'm not exaggerating, I'd say, it's going to be okay, Robert. You'll be fine. You don't know. You don't understand. How dare you? How do you? And I'm like, well then, okay. Oh, my God. What am I going to say to my grandparents? Oh, my God. What am I going to do? Oh, my God. It's going to be okay, Robert. Don't you talk to me like that. You don't know. You don't understand. And so I think my punch to him in the White Castle parking lot was justified. I think it was a totally justified punch after dealing with a few hours of that.
You just get a freaking bathroom plunger and suck the dent back out.
I put every ounce of my being into that punch, and man, did I hurt my arm.
And how'd he do?
I think he said ow and did a spin kick as I jumped out of the way.
Oh, he did a spin kick.
Yeah, well, he was a black belt in karate, and I punched him in the arm. so he said ow. He did a spin kick of some sort. I jumped back. His foot tapped my stomach, barely touched me, and I did the only thing I could do. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that to me. I barely touched you. Oh, man, you hurt me.
Oh, that's when you grab his foot and turn it as he hits your chest.
I'm no black belt. I don't know that move.
No, I don't know it either. I just would have done it because I saw it on TV once.
So, story number 2. The main problem with this car at this point was that it wasn't symmetrical anymore. So Robert decided... Well, yeah, he only had a dent in one side. He didn't have a dent in the other side. So there's 2 ways you could make the car symmetrical. Way number 1 would be to fix it. Way number 2 would be to make a left turn out of the McDonald's parking lot without looking. And he went for option number 2. And so he made the left.
Did a number 2.
Yeah, he did a number 2. And so the next time he came to pick me up, I found that the passenger door was hard to get to come open, and now the tire was scraping on that side whenever he went over a bump.
You get double tire scraping.
Yeah, that was
stereo now.
Well, it eventually works itself out. The tire wears itself down enough that it stops scraping, and you know that is because it did eventually, and also enough time opening and closing the door, it gets easier to open, or you get used to squeezing yourself in. I'm not sure which. I think a little bit of both, but I don't. Did I say I have 4?
I just push the door harder and see if it comes off.
Story number 3, and I can't think of what story number 4 was going to be, but story number 3, he didn't have a cup holder in this car. And you know, you'd think that's not that big of a deal or that big of a problem. You could just buy a cup holder or, you know.
Between the window and the thingy.
Right. So we, of course, at some night cruising, we end up at a 7-Eleven and, you know, we buy Slurpee, buy this. And Robert bought a big, huge, gigantic gulp. And this car was of the cassette era.
Not a big gulp, a gigantic gulp.
The biggest bucket of Coke you could buy.
Oh, like the double gulps or those giant. I know which one you're talking about.
It was one of those. It was one of those buckets of Coke he bought.
Yeah,
he
like
bought
a
a
50-gallon one.
5-gallon bucket from Home Depot.
He bought
a 5-liter Coke.
He bought a
with
bucket
ice.
of Coke from 7-Eleven. And he would basically use the cassette tape holder as his cup holder. You know, a little compartment that's got the little ridges for the cassettes to go in. That just, you know, no one puts the cassettes in. Just has a bunch of pocket change in the bottom.
Did he at least like chisel out some of the little dents, the little things?
Well, no, he just rested it in there, and that's fine.
Okay.
Now, Dune writing in, did your dad have a Transam or Trans Am? No, my dad has 2 Transams, a Firebird, and a Formula. But yeah, Yeah, my dad's got 4 toy cars. At that time, you could have. Could he? At that time, you could borrow. No, I'd be disowned. I'd be dead. My dad's version of that is that if I were to borrow a car like that at my age, I'd kill myself driving it. The real story is I'd have been dead when he got his hands on me after I drove it. So, because just because I have the horsepower doesn't mean I'm going to use it.
Oh, no, Genocide Rob gets behind the wheel.
I'm not that kind of driver. Don't really care about the horses. Why are we still measuring by horses? Do we really need to make horses feel this inadequate?
Yeah.
But
our electric car finally came, and
Yay.
I think it would outperform that Trans Am.
Which one did you get?
What's you get?
ID4.
Oh. Independence Day. That's a great movie.
They made a 4th one?
Who made that one?
ID4. What's that?
That's a Volkswagen ID4.
Oh, Volkswagen. Just to wrap up the cup holder story. So he rested in the cassette tape holder, which is kind of all right, but it's all right if you drive normal. But this was Genocide Rob driving. So he takes a quick left turn, and the Giganta 5-gallon gulp immediately dumps over to the right. And the rest of that night, you could see the waves sloshing around in the floor of the car, the passenger seat. Every time he turned, it's like slosh this way, slosh that way. It was just one thing I got to give that Chevy Cavalier credit for, it was watertight, the floor, because
It needed a bilge pump.
So, I'll have to check that out next time I get a chance to come up to Maine, maybe next weekend or the weekend after. Or, hint, hint.
We're driving, yeah.
Or you can come down. Either way.
Yeah, the range on it is one that's just would get me to your house, and then if you plug it into a regular outlet, it takes so long to charge up that I have to stay for a couple days until it gets charged up enough.
We can swing by the hardware store and you can help me put in an outdoor 220 line.
Don't worry, he'll put a 220 in for you.
Sweet.
We could put in a 220. That does me no good once you leave, but at least you have a place to charge when you come.
Gators, you can open a washing machine outside. Come on.
Well, you still have the diesel, right?
No. Yes, we have the diesel truck. The diesel Volkswagen is going to my dad because he wanted a car because his van is dying. And so we just, we swapped vehicles around because Mike wanted one of the BMWs that my dad was going to sell. So.
Oh, nice.
It's a BMW motorcycle, not a car. So, you're not talking like
there you go.
mega bucks, but like the cars are, but it's still fine driving machine.
Yeah.
And
But
I
anyways,
still have the Passat, so
anyways, you can come down. I could drive up. We could hang out. Either way. Hey, we got to check out Bob's, even though Bob doesn't own it anymore. We still got to get up there at some point. No?
Yes, I know. Yes. You got to come visit for that.
All right. What are you up to the next few weekends?
I got to find out what's going on this weekend. Probably visit the daughters are visiting, and my parents will probably be over. So it's usually family weekend. We've been doing a lot of that since COVID hit. You get into a bubble of your own family, you end up spending a lot of time.
Well, I got some family activities I can bring.
Yeah. So there's always that. And then the following weekend, I got to find out because we're in the midst of
that following weekend, or is it the weekend after?
It's the weekend after. We've got 2 weeks and then Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I'll be going to the lake for that.
Yeah.
So the weekend before Thanksgiving, maybe, or the weekend after Thanksgiving.
We'll figure
out the weekend after Thanksgiving, because technically that weekend right after. Well, anyways, yeah.
We'll figure out something because. Anyway.
Now, 5 at Dune Road in Ew, car wash vacuum will fix that.
Yeah, I like my car detailed. Yes, you hate us, don't you?
And then of course, quoting from Mr. Mom, you had to go 220, 221, whatever it takes.
God. Movie.
Classic line.
But I will tell you, using an electric vehicle up a hill and passing cars is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is a
The
lot of
torque
fun.
in it is so mind-boggling incredible.
Yeah.
It's like but then you lose all your batteries, so. But it is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a update from UPS about my iMac.
Is it here?
No, it's not here. They now are saying they expect my delivery to take place tomorrow, anytime between 12 and 3 p.m. So tomorrow afternoon, I will have my Bondi Blue iMac, where I could. Yeah, you know what? We should. I shared that this past week, and Dune wrote back dick. And I don't know if he was calling me a dick for posting the video, or the guy a dick who made the video, or both of us. Maybe yes.
There might have been some sharing
I'm
responsibilities.
just repeating what I've been told by you several times, so I just
Oh,
have to
you were
remind you're buying.
you were the one that showed me that the first time, weren't you? Yeah.
I was, because I knew how frustrated you were with them.
I thought that was hilarious. I
Well,
laughed
you-
my butt off.
I mean the line that and the best part is that the version that you find on YouTube is actually a reposting from the original guy that
shut
did
down.
it. So that's great.
But whether using Avid,
But we're just to show people what
Editing
we're
is all
talking
Mac
about.
based now.
No,
I mean,
don't start. Let me share the screen before we start. Okay. Just to show people what we're talking about was this was a mock Mac commercial that was made, obviously in the era of the original iMacs, because he uses an iMac in this, but also he said that his stories relate to OS 9 and OS 10. So the iMacs are probably getting to be dated at that point, because the iMacs don't run OS 10 that well. They only run up to a certain version of OS 10, and they generally do better with 8 or 9, from what I've been reading up this past week to prepare for my new toy to arrive. But here we go. The best iMac commercial ever.
there are programs out there on the PC. But
Oh,
editing is all Mac based now. I mean, there are programs out there on the PC, but whether you're using Avid or using Final Cut Pro, you're working on a Macintosh. Using a Mac is a little different than using a PC. It's not so much operating a computer as it is sort of tricking it, fooling it into doing what it is you really want it to do. You kind of have to sneak up on a Mac. I don't feel like I'm operating the Mac so much as I'm just there sharing the Mac experience. And if I can do something useful while the Mac is willing, so much the better. One of the coolest features of the Macintosh is it's really easy to shut down. All you have to do is be using a piece of software, and then poof, it goes away. It's gone. It's shut down. You didn't push any buttons. You didn't close. You didn't even save. It's just gone. Unless you want to shut down a Mac. Oh, that's a whole nother story. I mean, you try to close a program and it locks up, and then you do that funny, what is it, the cloverleaf period thing? These unnatural and ultimately useless interrupt keys. Then nothing moves. Then you push the power button and it won't turn off. You go around and unplug it, and you better hope you're not on a laptop, because then you gotta find the damn battery and try to pull that out, or the thing will never shut down. So I put my CD in the CD-ROM tray, and I'm copying media off that CD, dragging it onto my desktop, dragging it onto my desktop, dragging it onto my desktop. I eject it, and where did my files go? It's the only operating system I know of where click and drag does not mean you actually copy or move anything. No, you're just making shortcuts on your desktop. So I've got my next CD, and I slam it into the CD-ROM tray, and lo and behold, it starts playing all by itself. I'm looking for a way to turn it off. Finally, out of desperation, I click and drag the CD into the garbage can. The system locks up. So I go to the cloverleaf period spacebar thing, hoping I can stop the program, and I get a little caution window saying, careful, interrupting this program may lock up the system. I try to click OK, but the system's already locked up! I like the handle here. That's so you can attach a chain and use it as a boat anchor! The Mac is practicing some kind of bizarre psychological warfare on me, because I'm working late at night. Out the corner of my eye, I keep seeing this thing jumping up and down. The update manager is bouncing at the bottom of the screen like a Jack Russell fucking terrier. So I'm looking around in the list of the files, trying to find the executable it wants me to update. And if I click on any one of them by accident, I rename it! Oh no, it's been renamed nothing. It was some kind of important system file, and the computer crashes! On a PC, no data is really lost. I mean, there's a way to undelete a file. If you know what you're doing in DOS, you can go in and recover anything that's been corrupted. On a Mac, if you lose a file, you run to the store to get a copy of the Mac version of Norton Utilities. You run back only to have Norton go, "You idiot! You own a Macintosh! The file is fucking gone! It's just gone!" Don't have any tools or any kind of buttons or whatever dials or switches in the bottom of the screen, because if you reach for them, the dock menu comes up. You've got to like angle around and slide and dodge the thing to get to the control. It's kind of like boxing with your computer. I can put it on the bottom, I can put it on the left, I can put it on the right. No, I can't put it on the top. That's reserved for the mighty Blue Apple. My name is Hunter Kressel. I'm an editor, and I cut together everything you saw tonight on a Macintosh. Mac killed my inner child.
So yeah, that's my favorite Mac commercial right there. They went for the honest approach in that one, which is unusual, but I think it works. And this guy shared that yes, every one of these stories happened to him. And I've had the power issue happen. I've had the dragging things from a CD on the desktop, thinking I'm copying when I'm just making shortcuts. Gothard, what have you had any of those negative experiences?
I've had the thing turn off, but that was only that one generation Mac. The copying to the desktop is an irritation. But you soon figure out that that's its own quirk.
Right.
But most of the other things, I think the Microsoft has figured out to make it just as painful as Macintosh is now.
And I think that was this guy was not an anti-Mac guy. I mean, he made that video on a Mac. He works on Macs.
So he says.
And he's on the record as saying that he is not suggesting that PC is better than Mac. It was more of a commentary that this whole like ad campaign that Mac goes with, that they're superior to PC, that they don't have the same problems that PC has, is just not true. It's a myth. They both have their problems. They have different problems, but they both have their problems. And so I think that was really his commentary, was in response to the Mac campaigns, that we don't have problems that they have, is that, no, you got your own fucking problems, and anyone that uses it knows it.
Well,
that's the point.
I'm going to sign off because I have to.
All right. Well, we're getting ready actually to wrap up. So why don't we just take a moment here and wrap up this episode of
Insert title here.
And before you step off, Gothard, what have you learned here tonight?
I've learned that the cassette tray in an old car is not sufficient enough to hold the giant gulp.
That is very useful information. Unless you want to make a swimming pool out of the passenger side of the car. Mars, what have you learned here tonight?
I learned that trees do not exist on Sundays. Only Monday through Saturdays between 9 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Very good. And Brian, what have you learned tonight?
I learned that I can call to see if I have jury duty tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. How often have you get one every year, right?
Yeah, I got called up last year and they said no dice.
When's the last time you've had to go in?
It's been several years.
Yeah. Oh, every year in California I called and didn't have to go in. That's the best jury duty ever. You just have to call once a year and find out you don't go in. And I have learned tonight that everyone is so dedicated to this tree story that I don't have to worry about forgetting about it. I'll have 3 friends come and remind me. And I've also learned that they are so dedicated to this that they're going to help me celebrate the 20th anniversary of this visit in 3 years from now.
Absolutely.
We're all going to go out there. Don't worry, Mars. You'll be fine.
I'll bring him.
We'll get you socks.
Put him in my suitcase.
We will get you socks.
I want White Castle.
We'll stop at White Castle before we go there, just in case we end up in jail.
That's right.
Raccoon bacon?
Raccoon bacon.
Sure.
All right. Thank you for listening. Be sure check out nhpradio.com. Also, we got to find someone to raid. All right. Let me find someone to raid here. Let's see who's live this week. We got lots of friends that we raid from time to time. And let's see. We usually like to find someone doing something musical. So let's... we got the cello player. We got... who else? Mary Amber. Pixel Playhouse. Who's Pixel Playhouse? Me Nina Music. Did we raid her yet? Let's check them out, see what they're doing. All right, Me Nina Music is playing a keyboard. And Pixel Playhouse is chilling in a studio space.
Let's lean into that for a second.
Let's raid Me Nina Music.
All right.
All right. So let me get to my channel so I can type in the raid command. And Me Nina Music. Play some. All right. So we're gonna play some keyboard. And thank you all for watching. And remember, 5-Hit Dune Saturday nights for the 5-Hit and Sunday nights for the Dune and Johnny show. I'm not sure if we're back next weekend or not, but keep an eye on that channel. And
right.
We're going to go ahead and raid Me Nina Music with 2 viewers.
Ooh. You go.
Oh, wow. We got double the raid from last week.
Woo!
What, we had less than 2 guests last week?
I think we had 1 last week. Maybe we had 2. I don't know. There we go. We've raided.
All right. See you next
Bye,
week.
guys.
Hello, Jonegators.
Yeah.
How you doing? Thank you so much
Good night.
for your raid. I really
Yep.
appreciate that. Please, everyone,